tuned for sports.
Keeping Score with Jess and Dean.
It is Sunday, October 12th. It's been a frigid one. Hello, fall.
Hi.
So what's going on? How are you? How was your week?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Doing the things. Nothing. It was actually a slow week because all last week, the little one was sick, and then I was sick the week before that. So it's just been kind of hanging in, not doing much.
I just realized now that with old age, it just doesn't matter whether you take it easy or whether you go full throttle, because right now I'm like I don't know what's going on. I've kind of curtailed all my sports activities. Baseball with the weather and stuff. The Hurricanes won another championship, but I wasn't there.
Well, congratulations.
The last 2 with me, and then 5 overall they've won. So great, congratulations to them. But no, the basketball thing. I woke up a couple of weeks ago in the leg and the whole thing, and I don't know. I said, let me just, with Arizona coming up, let me take it easy.
Yeah.
And I haven't done anything. I haven't thrown a baseball, and like my elbow's been bothering me. I've been having a hard time sleeping with the leg. I don't know. It's like that.
Maybe because you sleep on your couch?
What? But I'm just saying, like, I'm breaking down right before the trip, and I haven't done anything.
Well, maybe that's a problem.
I can go to 10 on Sunday. I took that off.
Yeah, how did that go over with the crew? I'm pretty sure that was not.
Vinny sends the message out every week. Who's coming? I said, no, I'm not. He goes, that's weak. I mean, it's weak. It's like, you play basketball, I play other sports, and I got other stuff going on. Plus, my brother was coming over to trim the bushes, and I do all the cleanup. So watch
out, bucket talk.
It would be kind of rude for me to go to hoops while he's doing the work. I've done that before.
I have no doubt.
And he thinks I'm total swill, but I've done it. But this time I said, you know what? Let me just do that. But it was even hard for me to go to the ground. You know what I mean? So I was kind of struggling. Oh
wow, you're gonna be we got to figure this out before you leave.
I'm leaving next. We got one more show, obviously. So next week we'll be doing our show, Keeping Score.
Yep.
Jess and Dean, Sundays 9 to 10, and then the following week you will be running something. You'll be handling all that of what we're doing.
Be doing our special
and then
show.
I'll be in Arizona trying to. I don't know what I'll be doing.
Well, you're gonna be sitting on a couch, and you may be playing, or you may just be, drinking.
But I gotta say, other than that, the last week was pretty good. I mean, you obviously you got the Patriots on last Sunday night. It was wow. I don't remember the last time, and I was like, I figured we'd save it just to get into the show. I didn't even text you. I'm just sitting there saying so much to unpeel when we do our show this week, as far as what this meant. This the big picture, and as far as a signature win, and I trying to figure out where there was a better win. We're going to get into it in the segment, but it's been a long time since we've had a real win.
Since we felt good.
That meant something. I mean, you and I have been doing the show. We're on 3 years, and we've never. It's 4-13 city over here. This is nice. Like you said,
today could tie it up.
Like you said on Pro FM the other day, it's one more win, and we're tying. We're getting there.
We could get there.
Yeah, and now we're 5 weeks into the season. That's a good sign. A lot to like. And of course, you got baseball playoffs. Bruins start. This is really nice because the Celtics started the preseason.
Yep.
You got everything kind of coming together where all the teams, all the sports are kind of tripping into each other. It's nice. I love this time of year.
You like that. Some people in my house don't like that. It's been in between watching something else and then watching.
Well, you got anything good on the anything like any shows to watch? So
nothing. There's nothing worth watching, honestly. That's why we've been doing the movie thing where it's just we pick out of a bag like an old school movie.
Yeah,
so,
how's that been going?
We haven't done it lately because it's just been Yankees. I was watching, swearing at the TV. It was I have.
You can put
really
that
remember.
in the rear view.
Yeah, I know.
That's over.
Typical.
Yeah, well,
I talked to my mom this morning about it. I'm like, they're just trash. She's like, they weren't going to win anyway. This is a good point. They weren't going anywhere, so it doesn't matter. No, you should go somewhere. Boone. Bye, Boone. Bye.
Right,
bye. By the way, we're back on YouTube.
Years,
that was a good move by me. Bye, Boone. Bye.
Yeah, I don't know if he's got pictures on Cashman or something, or maybe someone above Cashman.
By the way, Cashman should go too.
A lot of people say. I guess A-Rod said it in the postgame. We'll get into it in baseball, but just to see them go down like that. I mean, this one's more concerning to me, and we'll pick it up later. But this one concerns me the most for reasons we'll get into later.
All right, very good. Well, let's just start the show. How about that? Because I got nothing going on. Let's go. All right, we're going to start, obviously, with the Patriots. As you mentioned, a signature win last week in Buffalo. I mean, honestly, we were just make it competitive. Make sure you look good out there. And then, so they looked better than good.
Yeah.
Winning, Diggs was on fire. Drake was in the zone. He needed one of those wins so we could say, hey, this is what he can do. And he looked great. He looked like Josh Allen.
Yeah, because after a while, you start to say, oh, we're seeing the progress. All right, but at some point, we need W's.
Right.
Okay, and it was nice to see this, a signature win. And you mentioned Diggs, Jess. You saw him in the interview before the game. he showed a lot of class and a lot of maturity to talk about the fans in Buffalo and what it meant to him. But you could also tell that, like, all right, I'm gonna say the nice things in pregame.
Yeah.
But it's like now the game starts. It's we turn the switch and let's go.
Yep.
And you could see it from that first catch where he caught it in the left flat, where he caught it and kind of like backed up. He looked like like a yo-yo and back foot. It's just you can't teach that. Like just his footwork.
Yeah.
And here's a guy who, like I said, plays. I still can't believe he played week 1. And this guy, I'd say he's about an 85-90%, but 10 catches.
I know, imagine.
10 catches for 146 yards and some real acrobatic moves with the footwork that played down the right sideline where he kept the feet in bounds, which May made a terrific throw, obviously. But
right.
this is we saw this and we can circle this one. And I still, people laugh at me when I say the Miami one was big. It was big because when you're thinking about your division, you got 4 teams in the division. You play everybody twice, so that's 6 games per year. If you go 3-3 in the division, 4-2, 4-2 would be great. They're on track right now. They got to win in Miami, which never happens.
No.
They got to win in Buffalo, which never happens.
Ever.
So what? They're ahead of the curve here.
They
5
are.
games into the season. You try to forget you lost opening week to the Raiders, and of course the giveaway game with the 5 turnovers versus Pittsburgh. But you're starting to see the maturity of Drake May. I think they're taking the training wheels off a little bit, letting him do his thing, improvise, making plays out of the pocket, not running so much, but mobile quarterback, making plays, sort of out of nothing on a lot of these plays.
Now, what would you say if those wild throws that were incredible that were completed? What would you have said if one of those got picked off or one of those didn't have the same circumstance? Like,
yeah.
He's still stuck with the wild things. The reason it was so great is because it was a completion. If it didn't happen that way, we would have been like, oh, this kid's not learning anything.
So, all right, good question. It depends on the timing of it, Jess. I also look back early in the game because Collinsworth, oh my God, does he study the game? I know he studies film all week before the particular game. He knows it before. He knows things before it happens. He's that good.
Wow.
Yeah, and he does. He's been doing it for years. And I know he made a comment about May early in the game. I didn't dislike it, but I didn't really understand that he kept saying that, well, he's going to get there. But Josh Allen, you see how he was trying to compare the 2 guys early, trying to say that Allen's always got his head up. He's always looking where May had his head down at one point. Well, early in the year, like that was the kind of play he would force. He went down. You complain when he goes down. You complain when he tries to make too much out of the play and he turns it over. He either gets hit from both sides and turns it over or throws a bad pick. So you know what? There's still a lot of maturation to go here for May. It's a work in progress. But as far as like, I looked at that play late in the game, Jess, when they were trying to kill clock, you didn't want to give Allen any time.
No.
Even 3 plays. If Borregales doesn't make it from 52, Josh Allen could be 3 plays from field goal range.
Of course.
And at that point, that was the play where May kind of like tried to do something, then he realized and he went down.
Sit down.
And I'm sure obviously he told him under almost no circumstances, don't throw the ball.
Right.
Don't throw it out of bounds and kill the clock. Like you're trying to kill the clock. Don't stop the clock.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that he's learning on the fly here. And I think last year was kind of big to get him in there, get him acclimated. Kind of what you're seeing with the Giants now with Jackson Dart, they're just throwing him in there right now. Why not?
They're letting him do his thing.
Why
that's
not?
For sure.
You're not going to win a Super Bowl this year. Go for it, man. Like you got
beating Philly.
Yeah,
Holy
so
crap.
that's a whole nother thing. But this was big for the Patriots, and I still saw a couple of things I did not like. Obviously you saw Stevenson fumble early once again. It's and then now just I think I don't want to say. They're really stuck with him right now because what
Gibson's
are you doing?
out.
Gibson's done for the year. So, I know a lot of people believe, just pluck someone off the practice squad. This is where, like, at least Elliott Wolf should be making some phone calls. You've got tons of cap room. The trade deadline's, the end of October. This is where you're at least calling teams about a running back. They got to be looking for some help somewhere. Yeah. They've still got some holes that they could plug. They've got money to do it. They've got draft capital. Let's go here. I mean, they're going to need some help to get through this 17-game season. But the Stevenson fumble and then a couple of, I think there were 2 or 3 15-yard penalties in the second half.
Dumb boy play. Dumb stupid
One,
things.
the defensive lineman just came in and just housed the guy while he was on the ground. The play was over.
I know. I don't get
Harold
this.
Landry was celebrating the play. It was a tackle for a loss. By the way, he encroached. He set up I'm tired of this setting up in the neutral zone. You don't know you don't know.
Well, because the refs aren't telling them anymore. Because remember, they would always tell the Chiefs.
Oh, they give them the
they'd be like,
fingerprint.
yeah.
Come on.
That's because they're not
played football your whole life. Line up.
Well, clearly they don't know how to line up. There's a lot of stupid boys.
But they overcame that. And of course, you knew Allen was going to make a run. I never believed it was over at 20-10, but I felt pretty good about it. I knew he was going to make a run. Pat's got that stop to hold him to a field goal. obviously subsequently 2020, and then Borregales bangs it from 52, and that was down the middle and probably good from 62. It was a money kick in a big situation. Patriots have a lot to like right now and feeling good about themselves at 3-2, but it feels better than 3-2.
It does.
You just beat Buffalo and Josh Allen, an elite quarterback.
All right. Well, let's not I know that was one of our signature games, and that's one of the big ones that we didn't expect to win. We were expecting them to beat New Orleans, but we're playing them today, a flex game. Now it's at 1:00, so it's going to be Patriots pregame right after the show. I shouldn't be nervous because I feel like, all right, we just won against Buffalo. But you know what? New Orleans is not as bad as their record. They were in that Buffalo game when they were in Buffalo.
Yep.
They were close to winning. Was it against the Cardinals? I can't remember, but they've kind of been in every game.
Yeah.
So this is not going to be a cakewalk as much as we thought in the beginning. Whoa, hey now, my God. So how do you feel about today's game? And they're getting 3.5 at home.
Yeah, so obviously, a lot of people, the experts like the Pats in this game, and so do I. Obviously,
right?
I'm picking them, but I think this is going to be a tough one. This is one that, you know what? I don't care how they do it. If a lot of people are saying, "Well, I love people bored during the week," like you got to break every little thing down. So if they go in there and win 10-9, is it a bad thing? No, get a W.
Win's a win.
Go in there and get a win. You won at Buffalo. Nothing takes anything away from that, but a loss would be devastating. Now you're like at 3-3, and you're still thinking, all right, a win, a loss, back and forth. There's no streaks involved here. They can get a W here with the schedule coming up. And I know they always say, look at just the game in front of you. I can't help to not look at the next 4 and say, how can they not go 3-1 in these next 4 games? Possibly 4-0, even with some road tilts there. You go to New Orleans. You go to, I think they've got at Tennessee. I know they got their first win, but those are winnable games.
I don't even want to talk about that
for the Pats. Well, I'm sure
I was at a wedding watching Red Zone, and I was so bent at that game.
They had Red Zone on at the wedding?
No, I watched it on my phone.
Oh, wow.
Actually, the bride knew. She knew what it was. I had it at the table. I had it just standing up.
You really cared about that couple.
Well, I do.
But,
it was one. Actually, I would like to say this.
Yeah.
So it was Ashley Erling from the Road Show, and she married Josh, and it was one of the best weddings I've ever been to. It was at Aldridge
Well, clearly you watched
Manor.
I've been
No, but I'm just saying for the classiness of it. It was gorgeous. It was.
Is that where they did the Anthony Hopkins movie with Brad Pitt, Aldridge Mansion?
Oh, maybe, I don't know. There was no Brad Pitt there, but there was a very good-looking crew. Okay. I will say that. All right,
it's in Warwick, right?
Yeah,
yeah. It's the Aldridge Mansion.
Gorgeous.
They did the movie with Brad Pitt and I don't know if Gwyneth Paltrow was in that one.
Oh yeah, was it the
late '90s? No, it wasn't. If you said the name of it, I'd know. I back when I was into movies.
Okay, you're into something.
All
right, sorry. Anyways, back to sports. My bad.
Spencer Rattler. We've joked a lot about him, but I mean, they're
not knowing his name.
Yeah, they're 1-4. You know his name now. He's actually hasn't played bad. He's only 6 touchdowns, 1 interception so far in the season. 990 passing yards. Chris Olave's his number 1 target.
Yes,
and his number 1 weapon is, of course, Alvin Kamara, who I said the other day is questionable with an ankle injury. He'll probably play in this game. So. They got some players, and I want to throw a name at you that you probably didn't know is back with New Orleans. Former Patriot wide receiver, I believe, ran backwards in the Super Bowl. Is Brandon Cooks?
I actually like Cooks.
Yeah, he's different. He's on a different team every year. No? He's going to be about 32 now, but he started with New Orleans, and they got him in that trade with the whole flipped him for which ended up being Isaiah Wynn. I don't even want to get into that.
Forget him.
Yeah,
trash.
So obviously, this is going to be a competitive game. May 273 in the air on Sunday versus Buffalo. He's going to have a big game. And like I said, Christian Gonzalez, I know he's been battling to try to get healthy. He's been questionable. He's limited in practice this week with that hamstring. They're trying to still bring him along slowly. But
he does make a difference, though.
He makes a huge difference.
Really
but I look at that injury report, Jeff, it's starting to get a little bit more lengthy. And I bragged last week about how they've been unscathed so far. You're not going to see Antonio Gibson again this year. He's out with, he tore his ACL. So see you later. Unfortunately, that was sad. He was kind of crying off the field.
I know, because this team could go for a run there.
Yeah.
And why is everyone's ACL getting blown out? It's ACL or Achilles. Everyone is having it's just too hard on the body.
That's the game. But I believe Vrabel. The bottom line here is I believe Vrabel gets them focused for this game. It's not easy after beating Buffalo. And it would be so simple to just have a lethargic week of practice, and then you go down to Bourbon Street and it's New Orleans, and then we got the Saints. They're 1-4. I agree with you. They're not that typical 1-4 team. You got to take them serious because if you don't, you're going to walk out with an L. I think the Pats are going to win this game. Somewhere in the 20s. I like the way the offense is starting to evolve. It's kind of no coincidence that as Diggs gets healthier, they look better.
Now, do you think it would be, like you said, we're going to fill some holes? Obviously, we don't have Gibson anymore. with more wins, do you think it would be easier for people to want to come here? Like they're like, we're not an embarrassment anymore.
Well, first of all, it starts with the quarterback. I think a lot of people are seeing that he's already catapulted his way maybe into the top 15, 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. So that you're going to come, any receiver, any offensive weapon is going to come for the quarterback. As far as your question, if you mean right now, you have to do it the trade route. What you're talking about is more at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Players would want to come. As far as right now, you have to make a trade because there's no one's just walking in right now. So you'd have to give up something to get something. But I think what you're trying to say is, are we a destination once and again? And I think that's with Vrabel putting his stamp on the team, McDaniels, and everybody talking all week
I
about
love him in the tunnel.
Who's doing, who gets the most credit? Who cares who's getting the credit? McDaniels is doing his job, whether he was Vrabel's guy or not. Everybody's clicking here. We hope that the defensive coordinator with the health issue comes back eventually, Terrence Williams. But the job is getting done. They're doing it by committee. I like the way things are coming together, and I like their special teams. Actually, they've been playing well on special teams. Brandon School has been playing well. I think it's coming together. I think Vrabel's got something going here.
Nice, and I think they respect Vrabel. I think they're a team that really likes him, and I loved it when it was at the end of the Buffalo game and he was in the tunnel and he hugged every single player that walked off the field, gave him
it's been a long time.
Stop.
I would say.
You think Bill Belichick would ever have done that? Do you think Bill would have been in? We got to talk about him, by the way. Talk about ruining your entire legacy. Keep sticking with that chick. She's doing wonders for you.
Oh, it always comes down to
just
that.
saying. He didn't have.
Mountains.
He had no problems with Linda. No problems with Linda. All you did was win Super Bowls. Now you Nike. Anyway, sorry.
I had a question for you and I forgot, but I had a backup. I had a backup question.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, that was the question. First thing was, I obviously circled this one as the best win. It's, obviously since we've been doing the show together, no doubt about it. A lot of people said Cincinnati last year. All right, even though it was it was the first game of the year, so you were 0-0. It was a good win the first week.
Yeah.
You thought at that moment, right?
And so you learned very quickly.
I would say the one of the better wins was Buffalo once again. I think Mac's rookie year when they the night where it was windy and they couldn't throw the ball.
7-0.
And he threw the ball 3 times and they won. And that was big. And everyone bought into the Pats.
Yep.
And I think the next week they went to Indy, got smoked. They were the number 1 seed after that week for an hour.
Yeah.
And then reality set in, and obviously 10-7, and then they lost to Buffalo in the playoffs when Buffalo didn't punt. But before we put a cap on Sunday's game, I was kind of into the game. Sometimes I'll write little notes down because I know we don't do the show till the following week. And I wanted to tell you that I listen to some of the songs. I like the music when they go to breaks. I like transitioning in and out of breaks. So I forgot what they did on the first song because it was something I liked. The second song on the second break, was a song that equates to Buffalo. The word Buffalo is used in the song. My trivia question to you would be what was the song? And I wouldn't ask you who the artist was that sang it, but it's back in my era. I was in high school at the time.
Oh my God.
So they went to break and they go, and you hear the song and it's the word Buffalo is in the song.
Wait, is it Bob Marley?
No.
Buffalo Soldier?
No.
Oh.
Buffalo Stance.
Oh, Nina Cherry.
You got the name. See, you know your stuff.
I love it.
I thought it was 1989, my senior year of high school. Yeah, it came out in 88, so I was a junior. No, please. No. Please stop. Kind of wish I didn't break.
Mess with me.
You knew
sad.
me.
If you're just tuning in. All right, go ahead.
So, I don't think Cherry did much after Buffalo.
Not really.
I think and they said that was her debut album. It was called something Sushi or something. I don't know about the name of that one, but that was their big song. But that was the song Going to Break. They equated it to Buffalo. You got to love it.
I do. I actually.
It's I love when the Jets or the Giants are on Monday Night Football. They'll usually do something maybe a little Lou Rawls taking you to break something in New York or something on Broadway. Yeah. Like that kind of stuff. I love that stuff. I pick up on.
It wouldn't get the guys pumped up if they were listening to it.
No, but watching it like me, I had the little stress Patriot.
What little, your Thank God that's not in the shot.
I had a little mini football that's like a stress ball that was for the game, and I was locked in. It was nice.
I didn't know if your dates changed. Okay. I didn't know if you switched up the week.
What? No, we both had a lot going on lately. It's been
slow. It's been quiet.
It's been spotty.
It's been a quiet fall. All right. Well, let's thank our sponsors if we still have some, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do our games of the week. Here we go.
790 The Score, your best bet for sports.
The Rhode Island Building and Construction Trades Council. 10,000 skilled craftsmen and women. Together with our contractors, we spend approximately $6 million per year training our membership in state-of-the-art construction technologies to ensure a stable, safe, and productive workforce, delivering projects on time and on or under budget with the finest craftsmanship in the industry. The Rhode Island Building and Construction Trades Council. We build Rhode Island.
Celebrating 25 years, Build RI members have been directly involved in constructing over 110 local, all-union, large-scale commercial construction projects worth more than $10 billion, promoting local economic development initiatives in order to create business opportunities for local businesses and work opportunities for local skilled craftsmen and women in a competitive environment that is level and fair. With career opportunities developed through apprenticeship training programs, the focus is geared towards making their craftsmen and women the most highly skilled in the construction industry. To find out more, visit buildri.org. No one wants to be involved in an accident, but if there is an occurrence, the best place to take your vehicle is Northeast Auto Body in Johnston. They have a state-of-the-art collision and service center complete with the latest in mechanical and collision repair. But they're a business that handles more than just body work. They provide services such as vehicle inspections, mechanical work, rentals, paintless dent removal, 24-hour towing, and more. Northeast Auto Body, serving New England for over 20 years. Get it done right the first time. Northeast Auto Body, 775 Hartford Ave in Johnston, and at neautobody.com. Aw, that bed doesn't work. All right.
Beds.
Yeah, I know. I was a little bummed out. I wanted to play that one. All right, so let's go into week 6 of the NFL. We got to recap Thursday night. What in the what? Philly, what's going on with them? Are they all right?
They're starting to look like Philly from 2 years ago.
Yes.
Not when they started out, 10-0, but they didn't look good, and then they petered out. I don't know what's going on there.
The spread was 7.5, and they lost to the Giants.
All you know is A.J. Brown complains every week. There's always something. I don't know what's going on there. They look terrible at the end of that Denver game.
Can we get A.J. Brown?
Yeah, I hope so. The end of that Denver game the week before, and they just haven't looked good winning. And I believe, Jess, they're trailing like they've been outgained every game, even the games they won. They were 4-0. They were behind the 8 ball. They get. The most important thing, they're getting W's.
Right.
Starting to catch up with them right now. And let's give some credit to the Giants. This kid Dart can run the ball. He's got some athleticism.
Yeah.
He can throw it. He can run it. And they don't have a ton of weapons with no neighbors, but they've got Cam Scatterbo.
I know.
Who scored 3 times. He looks good. 98 yards and 3 touchdowns.
That's Becky's player in fantasy.
Really?
Yeah, she picked him because of his name. Godson's wife.
He was great at, I think, Arizona State. I saw him in the bowl game last year. He's terrific. Tough kid. Real tough kid.
Yeah, well.
Gives the Giants a little hope. You got your Scatterbo. You've got Dart. Next year you'll get Neighbors back. They've got a defense. 2-4. They still got a ways to go, but they won this game convincingly.
Oh, my God. What was it, 34-17? Yeah. Obviously, I went with Philly straight up. I couldn't even believe that. But you knew it as soon as the game started. As soon as the Giants got the ball, you're like, this is it. They were on it. They were home. They felt good. Dart was, he ran in the first touchdown. I was just like, this is not going to be easy.
It's funny, like his offensive numbers for throwing weren't like he didn't light up the scoreboard, but he didn't have to. It seems like just the change is seen, the change at quarterback. I hate to keep hopping on Russell Wilson. This was big. Sometimes you don't have to put up big numbers. The team resonates. They click. Now they feeling like they get a little hop in this step. Players just want to win.
Yeah.
They're not worried about who the guy is. They can always tell you, we love this guy. You probably said you loved Russell 3 weeks ago. They love this kid. They want this kid as long as he's winning football games. And I think the Giants have a good recipe, and the Pats play them, I think, later on in the season, which is not going to be a chalk. So it's in Foxborough.
I do feel bad for Saquon because that was his time at the Giants, coming back. Well, Saquon Barkley, they traded him. He wanted to retire a Giant.
Well,
and then he didn't have a good game.
First of all, he walked as a free agent, went into the same division. I don't know if I'm feeling bad for him. He won a Super Bowl last year.
Right, but I'm saying they didn't value him, and they should have. That's all.
Right.
But he didn't have a good game. I was kind of hoping for him. He had a good 19-yard run in the beginning, and then that was it.
I've been telling some people that follow it even more than I do, like Giants fans, Philly fans. I know some Philly fans, actually, which is odd.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
But I feel like that kind of, I don't know. You saw more of the game than me. I don't know how many carries Barkley had, but I feel like they're kind of trying to get him to throw a full season because they feel like after last year he was taxed. And they're trying to take a little step back have him near the end when it really matters. So I think that they're willing to sacrifice a couple of games during the regular season to get to where they want to go. But they're not looking good right now. I
don't think they wanted to sacrifice this one. I just thought they thought they could win it. All right, so let's get into today. Right now, Denver is taking on the Jets. Obviously, I don't care. I'm going Denver. I'm not looking at the matchup. Jets, I think, are sloppy. I think they're one of the most talented teams. I think they're the sloppiest teams, and they're dumb.
Yeah, I'm tired of hearing about Pinnock telling me they got a great roster. The team stinks. They've been rebuilding for half a century.
Talk about like 15-yard penalties.
Yeah.
That's like every play. They suck.
This team's swell. They haven't won since Broadway Joe. It's over.
No.
Denver on the road.
Very good. And then we have, which, by the way, they're both on the road. The Rams at Baltimore. Yes. Baltimore has nobody. The Rams have lost a couple in a row. I didn't like that. Didn't see that coming.
So this is
they're going to come back.
So how about Lamar? What's the status there? Because if he plays, I like their chances a little bit better. Obviously, if he's in there,
I don't know.
Okay, well the bottom line is
they're getting 7.5 at home.
Here's the problem: both teams haven't played well. Their defenses have been kind of overrated, maybe a little bit. The problem is the two running backs, Derrick Henry and the kid Kyrie Williams for the Rams. They've both been putting the ball in the carpet.
Well, it looks like everybody's putting the ball in the carpet.
That's true. That's true.
That's not just them.
I was going to lean on you for this game, Jess. I don't know. Baltimore's 1-4.
I know. That's insane.
Harbaugh needs wins, W's, but everybody needs wins. We always say, well, they need this one today because they can't have another loss. Yes, they can.
Yeah, I mean, we're learning that very quickly this season.
I love the Rams going. I like both LA teams, and they've both been burning me the last few weeks. The Chargers and the Rams have both been sucking.
I feel like McVay is not Stafford's gonna get it done. So I'm going with the Rams as well. Okay. I may go with Baltimore getting 7.5 at home. That's a lot. That's a lot of points. But they got smoked a couple of games, I know,
blown out. I think they got blown out at home.
44-10 or something.
Didn't
like
they?
That.
Yeah.
So. Well, we'll see what happens. Either way,
if it's Cooper Rush, see you later. Goodbye. Lamar, you got to punch his
Cooper,
chance.
no rush.
Let's leave it.
There's no rush to worry about.
No rush.
All right, so we have Dallas at Carolina. Shout out to Jerry Jones who flicks off fans at the stadium. $250,000 fine, which is probably like for $2 for him.
What, they show you can see it on TV.
Yeah,
him doing
you don't need to do it on our YouTube. Thank you. We're on YouTube, by the way. Sometimes Dean forgets there's a camera in his face.
I gotta get it to the left a little bit. I don't think I didn't go.
But yeah, Jerry Jones ended up flicking a double flick, by the way, to what would they play? The Jets, or I can't remember who they just.
They won at the Jets. Yeah.
Yeah. So he flicked them all off. $250,000 fine. So we got Dallas at Carolina. Carolina getting 3 at home.
Carolina bounced back and beat Miami. It's not saying a lot, but that was a good win for Carolina.
It really
Bryce
was.
Young. I'm going to take Dallas in this game, even though when they're on the road. I don't love them, but I think Prescott's been throwing the ball pretty well. Actually, not playing bad.
I feel better with Dallas actually at that game. All right, so then we have Arizona at Indy. Indy giving Arizona 7.5. Kyler Murray, obviously it was at a wedding. I didn't see what was happening, but I did notice he walked off the field. What is he hurt with?
I don't know. I'm just looking at his face. I can't get past it. He's friggin' miserable. Okay,
because he's running around.
I guess they shanked this one late. I did check the numbers. Harrison had a pretty good game. I think he had 4 catches for 98 yards. He's getting better, but they let a couple get away. That's the team, by the way. I think where the coach got fined. Didn't he almost beat the hell out of his player? The kid, a couple of weeks ago, the kid was in the end zone and he put the ball out. He laid the ball back and he went right up to him and he didn't punch him, but he gave him a nice shot in the midsection.
He has pads on.
I think the league fined him on that one.
Really?
I think so.
I didn't know about that.
I don't know. But anyways, at Indianapolis, I'll tell you one thing with, the kid Tyler Warren, loved the tight end out of Penn State. Jonathan Taylor running the football. Daniel Jones, wow, is he Sam Darnold 2.0? Give it to me. I'm taking the Colts. I'm loving them. They're putting up points now.
Yeah,
put up a 40 spot last week.
Same with you on that one. All right, so now this is going to be a tough one. Yeah. Seattle at Jacksonville. Jacksonville giving Seattle 1.5. Seattle losing last week. I didn't anticipate that one. I thought that was going to be a better performance by them. But I also didn't anticipate Jacksonville beating Kansas City. The most ugliest win I've ever seen. Trevor Lawrence has to fall 4 times, and then Chris Young or something?
Yeah, Chris Jones.
Chris Jones. He's just looking at him.
$30 million defensive tackle could not get to Trevor Lawrence, who fell 7 times.
How did that happen?
You know what, though? Something's going on there in Jacksonville. You got the kid, Travis Hunter, the 2-way player.
Cohen.
Something's going on there. The little Rhode Island tie there. Yep. As far as on the other side, Seattle, you said what happened there. A little surprising. He lost to Mayfield late in the game. And, of course, Sam Donald, I'm starting to like. He burnt me. I'm watching him.
Usual interception.
He threw a pick late, and I don't know if he saw ghosts again, but it was a tough one there. That one, I'm going to say Jacksonville at home. I'm taking them.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to go Jacksonville there.
All right. I'm going to go Seattle. Just because I can't not see Furio and Carmella.
By the
as
way, we're halfway.
Trevor Lawrence
We're
is
halfway
fine.
through our picks for the week, and I was saying that last week I didn't want to toot my own horn because I think it was one of the worst weeks I've had so far picking games.
Yes,
but I went into the week with one purpose, and I didn't do it this week. I said I would, and I was so busy. I went in last week, and I had a designated upset of the week, and it came to fruition. I had Denver over Philly, and I picked that one.
Godson did too.
Yeah, so that was like a game I was saying to myself, you can't just go with like what the norm would be. At some point, you have to say, you know what? Nobody's thinking this. I'm going this way. Although I will say that I cheated a little bit, and I like, hearing some stuff during the week. Some experts were liking Denver in that game also. And then I'm looking at 17-3 in the fourth quarter. My brother's like, it's over. I said, no, I think Denver's going to make a run in this game, and they did, and they pulled it out. So going forward, I'd like to be a little bit more, a little edgy.
Yeah,
more edgy.
yeah,
Why not?
We love Lil Edgy Dean.
Yeah.
Go see him at Antonio's on Friday night. All right, we got the Chargers at Miami. Miami getting 4.5 at home. Chargers need a win. That's another, like, both brothers are having some struggles right now.
I don't want to make excuses. It just seems like the Chargers every year, no matter. And I love Harbaugh. You know that. I love Jim Harbaugh.
You don't like Johnny?
Nah, not as much.
Okay.
I hate the Ravens. I don't know why. But they have so many injuries. Najee Harris, the running back, gone. They've been dinged up at both sides of the ball. It just seems like it's injury after injury for them. They're at Miami. McDaniel's holding on for dear life. Someone said he took his glasses off. I don't know. I'm gonna go Chargers on the road. I'll just let Harbaugh continue to burn me. But he's a better coach. I'm taking the Chargers.
Same. All right. So we got Cleveland at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh off a bye week, giving them 5.5. I just like Pittsburgh at home, but we don't have. So Joe Flacco is now the quarterback, but he's not playing today. That's what I heard.
Correct.
So I don't. Who's the quarterback that's going to be today for Cleveland?
Well, so Cleveland's going to go with the rookie that played in London last week, which is Dylan Gabriel, the kid out of Oregon, the lefty. And if he goes down, obviously it could be Shedeur Sanders at some point. But right now it's Gabriel. He played decent. They lost that game, I think 21-17 to the Vikings. I'm with you. I like Pittsburgh at home, even though I don't love Pittsburgh. It seems to me like this division's kind of starting to line up for the Steelers all of a sudden.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't it weird?
It is.
We didn't see that one coming.
No, and I don't like it so much. All right, so we have San Francisco. This game is I want Tampa Bay because I like.
Well, we know you don't want Mac Jones to win.
I can't stand Mac Jones' face, but I don't know. Tampa Bay, they may be due for a loss, but I know they're at home. So I'm still going with Tampa Bay. They're giving 3.
I don't know if Godwin's out in this game, but I know did he come back because it says out as if he was in at some point. He's another guy kind of allergic to playing. He's kind of hurt a lot. Everyone's mad because the Pats didn't give him $30 million a year. He don't play often.
Well, that's true.
He's good when he's in there. I say Mayfield still gets it done.
Okay, good.
Matt can't keep winning with a patchwork team. I mean, I know they got Christian. I got it, but it's after that. It's
he's
spotty.
the only one that does anything.
Yeah.
We have Tennessee at Vegas. Vegas giving 4.5. Obviously, going Vegas on this. Tennessee got lucky. Good for you having a win, but that was not.
Yeah, these two teams. I'll say it now. I don't care if it's week 6. Definitely Tennessee, but even Vegas, both teams, even though Vegas beat the Patriots, both teams are going to be picking in the top 5, top 10, best case scenario. I'm taking Vegas just because they're at home, and I think Brock Bowers, the tight end, may be out in this game, but Geno Smith's been playing terrible ever since opening day against the Pats.
Well, I mean, maybe he feels better. He hasn't gotten any hits. That was the first game of the season.
Hits.
We got Cincinnati at Green Bay. Green Bay giving 14. Green Bay hasn't been lighting up my world. I want them to win. I'm not going with them with the spread, and I know that Cincinnati has nobody, but I don't think they're going to lose by 14.
Again, Flacco just got this. He doesn't know the playbook yet. I think it's going to be Jake Browning, at least for now. And, Flacco's going to be the guy, I think, at some point this year.
Right.
But Browning's going to get the shot. And, I'm with you. I think 14's a ton of points. But I think Cincinnati's just, their balloon got popped when Burrow went down. They just don't. The Pats have them later in the year, and I feel pretty good about playing them.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
All right. Then we have New Orleans, and obviously we have the Patriots. That's a 1:00 game flex. Detroit at Kansas City. Kansas City giving 2.5, and you know what? It's an emotional roller coaster. Like some weeks they look like they're Super Bowl champions, and then they play like Jacksonville, and they look like trash. I mean, Patrick Mahomes can only do so much. Like there has to be a defense, and I don't know where they are. So I'm going with Detroit to torch them.
I totally agree with your assessment. I'm going to take Kansas City. This would actually, to me, even though they're favored, to me, I think this would almost be an upset. Detroit lost the first game of the season. They've been great ever since. I'm with you. I think Detroit's a better football team, but at home, 8-20 game. To me, like I said, I'm not saying this is my upset special because they're favored in the game. I'm going Mahomes at home. What are they, 2-3?
Yeah.
Whew. That whole division's kind of disappointing me. I told you that would be the best division in football.
Yeah.
It has not panned out so far, but still a lot of football to be played.
Yep. And then tomorrow we have Buffalo at Atlanta. Atlanta getting 4.5 at home. I think that'll be a competitive game, but obviously I'm going Buffalo.
I've told you for 3 years that Atlanta burns me no matter what. So what I'm going to do is use the reverse psychology, because now that the Pats, for the first time in 5 years, we've actually looked at the standings to see where we are because it matters.
Yes.
And I'm thinking if Buffalo loses, that's good. So I'm going to pick
Atlanta.
No, I'm going to pick it. I'm going to pick Buffalo in this game.
Okay.
Because usually because I'm Eddie Mush, okay, that means Atlanta's going to probably win. So.
All right,
So I'm going to go Buffalo
George.
in this game. Yeah.
All right, and then tomorrow night we also have Chicago at Washington. Washington giving them 4.5. I'm going with Washington, obviously.
I am too, but I
can't believe they won last week.
Daniels played well. Yes, I was surprised at that one also.
Yeah.
But I think Chicago. I'm interested to see what they do this entire season. With Ben Johnson, of course, Caleb Williams. I think there's still something there. I think they're going to get that thing going. I don't know about a playoff berth, but I think they're going to be much improved this year. Kind of want to see their progression. It may not happen in this one. I'll take Washington.
All right, very good. We're going to go to Godson's Games of the Week.
Let's go! Football! Godson's Games of the Week.
All right, Godson only has 2, and last week I forgot to post because I was doing the wedding, and he actually did very well last week. He only has 2 picks. Seattle getting 1.5, and Detroit getting 2.5. So he's going Seattle and Detroit. I like both of those, and actually, I didn't even realize it that I picked both those teams too. So, Godson's Games of the Week: 1.5 going to Seattle and 2.5 going to Detroit. So opposite you. And I think we're gonna thank our sponsors and talk quickly about Bill Belichick, because we do have other sports to talk about, especially my sucky Yankees. All that coming up next.
790 The Score, your best bet for sports.
Celebrating 25 years, Build RI members have been directly involved in constructing over 110 local, all-union, large-scale commercial construction projects worth more than $10 billion, promoting local economic development initiatives in order to create business opportunities for local businesses and work opportunities for local skilled craftsmen and women in a competitive environment that is level and fair. With career opportunities developed through apprenticeship training programs, the focus is geared towards making their craftsmen and women the most highly skilled in the construction industry. To find out more, visit buildri.org.
The Rhode Island Building and Construction Trades Council. 10,000 skilled craftsmen and women. Together with our contractors, we spend approximately $6 million per year training our membership in state-of-the-art construction technologies to ensure a stable, safe, and productive workforce, delivering projects on time and on or under budget with the finest craftsmanship in the industry. The Rhode Island Building and Construction Trades Council. We build Rhode Island.
No one wants to be involved in an accident, but if there is an occurrence, the best place to take your vehicle is Northeast Auto Body in Johnston. They have a state-of-the-art collision and service center complete with the latest in mechanical and collision repair. But they're a business that handles more than just body work. They provide services such as vehicle inspections, mechanical work, rentals, paintless dent removal, 24-hour towing, and more. Northeast Auto Body, serving New England for over 20 years. Get it done right the first time. Northeast Auto Body, 775 Hartford Ave, Johnston, and at neautobody.com. All right, let's talk quickly about Bill Belichick basically destroying his entire legacy. At UNC, it's complete trash. Everything that's coming out about his coaching, his ethics, other coaches kind of going behind his back and saying that he's effing up these kids. I think one of them actually got suspended for talking smack. But, Clemson, which I don't know much about the NCAA, not a good team. And then they got, it was a brutal beating.
They've
at
been a
UNC.
national power at Clemson over the years. So they're the team that like I knew was going to blow Bill out.
Right.
But it was a game that I was going to watch because they're at least they're playing a good team.
Yeah.
If Bill beats Richmond, it doesn't do anything for me. I wanted to see what he would do against a real team.
Yeah.
And Clemson's 1-3 this year because Dabo doesn't like to use the portal, I guess. But Jess, the first play of the game, quarterback flips it to the wide receiver on a little halfback pass. And they threw like a 70-yard touchdown. Literally 11 seconds into the game, it was 7 donut. And I'm like, this is just bad. Fans were leaving at halftime. This game was in North Carolina.
Yeah, I know.
This is bad. This is really bad. And then that other thing came out. You talk about stuff. I know you're big on the off the field stuff. Didn't Bill say something about he told like the brass at North Carolina, the people don't
talk
post,
about Drake May.
Don't post anything. So when Drake May does well, he went to North Carolina. Don't even mention like I don't want to hear anything about anybody who puts that uniform on. Is what he's saying.
Yeah.
That's petty.
I know.
This guy is losing it.
No, but I also think he's always been like that, but people have protected him. And
Yeah.
now it's just like, this is not the NFL. This is the NCAA. And people don't they're just going to call him out because not only were they saying like that, you can't say anything about Drake May having unbelievable game where other schools are proud of their quarterbacks and they're tweeting all the time. He said that the kids don't have his phone number. And when assistant coaches try to reach him, either it was a bye week or something like that, he doesn't call anybody back. He does not pick up his phone. So then if you're not
what are
in
you
it,
doing?
right, if you're not in it, get out.
You're not building anything.
Get out.
Is he going to make it through the year?
I think he shouldn't, to be honest with you.
What,
So we
they're
can
2 and
forget
3,
about
They
this.
play third. I mean, there's still 5. There's like 8 more games. I mean, like, wow.
I think he shouldn't finish.
It looks so bad. It's
I know.
Just, it's
And
just
like,
such a. And I know everybody dislikes him. I don't know. There's still a part of me that like wants. Do I want to see this? Like, this is sad.
I know.
Almost. And even though he's a jerk, I just.
It's catching up with him, though. Maybe he never was the greatest coach of all time. Maybe
Well, they're trying to say you can differentiate and you can what do they say? Play on words. He's not the greatest coach ever. He's the most successful coach of all time because of the super. If you base it on Super Bowls
with Linda.
I thought you were going to say with Brady. You say Linda. Okay.
Well, I'm just saying,
all right.
he was better off. Anyway,
it's enough with Bill. It's
yes.
bad. It's really bad in the ACC. And like I said, beating the Richmonds and the Charlottes of the world ain't going to get it done.
Definitely
I think those are their 2 wins. And I think like those are the kind of teams, no offense to like a URI or like a Villanova at the football level. They're like almost the next level. They're not even the 1 AA. It's like 1A, then double A. It's not. It's pretty bad right now. And it's not going to end well.
No, it's not. And the more he stays there, and the more the things that come out, he's not getting a statue at the Patriots Stadium. He's not getting a statue at Gillette. He's done. All right, let's talk baseball. So I know the Yankees beat the Red Sox, but they didn't look good enough to win anything. And I just didn't know that the Blue Jays were that good. I mean, it was like football scores. So you know what? Yankees weren't going to do anything anyway. They would have lost the next round. That I'm so aggravated with them. Trash.
I believe that, at least going into that series, I thought it was lining up a little bit for the Yankees because they have 4 legitimate starters. Toronto in game 4 bullpenned it. So they're basically saying, here, take it if you want it, because we'll try to beat you in game 5 with Gausman, which there wasn't a game 5. Yeah. And I just couldn't believe that John Schneider, the manager for Toronto, rolled. And that's what he had. He didn't have anybody.
Isn't he on Dukes of Hazzard?
He rolled down.
John Snyder? Bo Duke? All right, continue.
You threw me off there.
Sorry.
He was on a Curb episode, by the way.
I bet he
a lot
was.
of shenanigans going on in that episode.
Right.
But no, I just thought that, Toronto was almost saying, because when Judge finally got the signature moment, Jess, when he hit the foul pole in game 3, guy drops a pop-up, the third baseman sets it all up.
I know.
Judge doinks the foul pole. The Yankees win going away in game 3. And now all of a sudden you're starting to say, all right, now Judge he's got the signature, he's got a little bit of the
He's
monkey off his
pissed,
back.
yeah.
But it just wasn't to be. Before we get into Boone, I want to talk a little bit about Judge and why I'm so concerned about this exit, okay? Because what concerns me the most is, and I went and did a little research on when he was his date of birth, not to make a big deal about when he was born, but they were saying, someone said, he's going to be 34 next week. People forget that he didn't come up when he was 20. Judge came up when he was like 25. So he's already getting up there a little bit. Turns out he's going to be 34 in April. Either way, he's going to be 34 when 2026 starts.
Okay.
How many more? He's had 450 home run seasons. He's the best. He really is. I'm sorry. You can't take it away from the guy. He's unbelievable, and I love him.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
How many more years are you going to get at prime Aaron Judge? So what I'm trying to say is is your window closing? There was even, not to across the sports. We left football, but even the Josh Allen thing, like, you beat them the other, like they've won 5 straight division titles, and now and they've won nothing, and now you got to be saying, oh boy, are the Patriots back? Then you know what I'm saying? So, and what do you got? So far, nothing. And I'm saying with the Yankees right now, and I'm looking at, as far as Boone goes, 8 years, and I don't want to hear A-Rod after the game saying it's not his fault. Even if it's not his fault, 8 years is 8 years. You got to get another face in there. And like you said when you talked in our production meeting, maybe it's, even Cashman, the GM, maybe they both got to go, because this is not working right now. But you're blowing all these prime Aaron Judge years. And okay.
A weird pause.
All right. Okay. And but you can't argue with the numbers. Just 13 for 26. He hit 500 in this postseason over 7 games. He was hitting rockets. He hit a line drive to the second baseman. They had him positioned that way the other night. He looked like he almost knocked the guy over when he hit it. The guy was playing there, but the pitcher almost lost his head. It was he was dialed in, Judge.
Yeah.
Now, granted, obviously you're probably saying, well, all right, who else helped him out? There really wasn't much from Stanton.
Volpe, man.
Volpe, 1 for 15.
They were booing the hell out of him.
3 weeks ago, I told you the kid Caballero, not the dish with the
delicious.
I was saying he could maybe take that shortstop's job. But I'm not Boone. But Monday morning quarterback, and I said it before it happened. I said this kid, he's got some foot speed. Volpe's swinging it air. He's not been playing great defensively. And then Chisholm made a big error in Game 4 the other night. That was a tailor-made double play up the middle. Then
maybe because he's yawning all game. That's why.
Well, then in Game 3, I know he hit the home run. That was a moonshot he hit. But then there was a play when it was before that inning where it became 6-1. They threw the ball in the second base. He didn't even know the guy was running home. He turned around by the time his just head wasn't in it. It's like, so you're going to see a different Yankee team next year. And it's funny how I've got a list of guys for the next manager when Boone's still the manager. But well, listen, we've been saying this for 3 years, and he continues to keep his job.
You gotta go.
Yeah, I think it's over. You notice he went from blowing bubbles to he was doing sunflower seeds the last couple of games. Yeah. And Guerrero's he's an elite hitter. Total
has their number.
Total slob though. He had seeds in his beard. Like they didn't. No one told him. I don't think anybody cared. As long as he rakes.
Who cares? He played unbelievable, and they did the Yankees lose. All right, shut up. Funny, but
no, it was good. And Schneider in the post game inside the locker room was having a lot of fun. I thought he was a guy who was going to get fired last year with Toronto. I'm happy that they stuck with him, but I'm telling you that even Toronto did not have it lined up in the series. I'm so obviously happy that they came through it, but to see that they were shorthanded, no Bo Bichette at shortstop, they had guys step up. The kid Nathan Lucas, he got the big hit off Devin Williams in the 8th inning to make it from 2-1 to 4-1.
Yeah.
That was after the Chisholm error, which really killed the Yankees.
Yep.
And then, of course, you knew it was meant to be when the kid dumped a hit in the 9th inning, or the little bleeder to right field. He didn't even mean it. He half swung, and it was 5-1. And you said, and I kept telling someone at work, I'm like, all right, so Judge is coming up. Let's see. It's 5. He can't tie the game.
Right.
So you know what? Let him go bridge. And he rocked one off the wall, too.
Yeah.
It was still in the 9th with Hoffman on the mound. It was a little dicey. Yeah. So I was like, it just wasn't meant to be for the Yankees, but I'm worried that they're kind of killing the Judge years here. And now, like I said, you got a bunch of free agents with the Yankees, and we're going to talk about it during Hot, so we don't have to do it now, but you've got 4 guys I'll mention. It's Trent Grisham, who had 34 home runs. They're not going to pay him. Bye-bye.
Yep.
Bellinger opted out of his contract the other day. That doesn't mean he can't re-sign with them.
Okay,
he opted out. Yeah, 29 homers, 98 RBIs, 27 homers, 98 RBIs, and he can hit lefty in the pitching. He can play multiple positions. Yep. I love Bellinger. Thought he was going to catch that ball in left field when he dove the other night. That was a ball that he usually catches. The tip of the glove. Usually catches.
Were you surprised this season, at least so far in the playoffs, so many errors from professional athletes right now?
Yes, all the way around. But if you look at it, everyone talks about how bad Boston. Boston had 115 or 16 errors this year. That's the most errors by a team to ever make the postseason. Yankees had 94, so they weren't that far off. So and the Yankees did that in Game 5 of the World Series last year when Judge missed the ball in center, and Cole didn't cover first with Rizzo and all. This has been going on, so it's fundamentals. It's just a lot. And I look at 2 other guys with the Yankees that out of the bullpen. Devin Williams, see you later with the Bugsy changeup. Bye. Yeah. And Luke Weaver, I'm sorry, it was a nice run, but he didn't get an out in the postseason.
No,
other than the game that was a blowout, they put him in to get some confidence. He threw 1 pitch. It's over for Weaver. They're going to get work somewhere else. But the Yankees going to be a different team next year. Obviously, and it's just a question of will it be a different manager?
Yeah, and it needs to be. All right, who do you like right now for the World Series? Who do you like in the playoffs right now?
So obviously,
Dodgers.
I saw an absolute heartbreaker the other night, and I felt I was almost devastated to see the kid for the Phillies come in with obviously a tough spot. The bases loaded in the 11th inning in a 1-1 game. He gets a ground ball back to the mound. He boots it, picks it up, and throws it home when the guy was home already. Although the guy missed home plate initially, all he had to do was throw it to first.
I know.
Did he forget that there was 2 outs? He think there was 1 out? I don't know. But I just was
obviously because he went home because he thought he was going to score the run.
I think he was thinking forced play at home. He panicked. You gotta know this time and what's going on.
Errors.
But I was so happy, not happy. I was so proud of the way the Phillies players was. You could see them going off the field as it was happening, as he's airmailing it. Guys, Alec Baum, the third baseman, had his hands over his head. Guys were and then they picked him up and they all consoled him after the game. It was really Orion Kirkering was the reliever, 24-year-old who came out of nowhere last year or the year before, and his parents were in the stands when he made his debut. This kid's a legit arm, a high volume on that can get some big outs on big stage, but it wasn't to be there. Dodgers are finding their way. Ohtani's he's not hitting, but he pitched well.
Oh my God, yeah.
They got Snell starting, and he's been doing well. And of course, they got Royce Sasaki, the kid they signed for $300 million. It looks like he's 11. He's coming out of the bullpen now. They found their closer. He threw almost every pitch at a stick the other night. He was throwing triple digits. So Dodgers are just finding it. So I do like them in the National League.
Yep.
Brewers are still in there. They never win. Brewers, Cubs. American League, I think Toronto's going to be Toronto, Seattle. So, I mean, if that's the way it goes, I mean, obviously Detroit would have something to say about that. But it's going to be interesting. It's just weird to see, New York out of there. I thought maybe it would be Yankees, Dodgers again. I thought the Yankees.
Well, they would lose anyway.
I thought the Yankees were at least going to make the World Series. I just think that, they, like you said, they walked into a buzzsaw with Toronto. It was like, what is this?
Couldn't believe
the first 2 games were blowouts.
I know.
And then they grabbed one in 3. And then when they gave the bullpen game 4, I'm like, they're giving you this game, and the Yankees couldn't take the opportunity. But did you see who when you start thinking about we don't have to do this now. We start thinking about managers going forward if Boone does go. Did you see who the bench coach was for the Blue Jays?
No.
The great Don Mattingly.
I was going to say Don.
He would be a guy I would love to see be the next guy.
I mean, he was the batting coach for the Yankees for a while, no?
He was like the bench coach for Torrey for a while. Then he managed the Dodgers.
Bring Torrey back.
Years ago, he managed the Oh, wow.
Sorry.
Well, we got Walkers on my over 50 team. I can borrow it. But no, I'm saying Mattingly managed the Dodgers for a while before Roberts.
Yep.
And then he went to the Marlins. He was manager of the year one year. So he's done a nice job. But that guy has never got a World Series all the years.
I know, even playing and everything.
Playing, coaching. Never done it. I'll give you a dark horse name.
Who? Oh, wait. Are we going to go with our guy, Rocco Bordelli? Yeah. That would be great. I mean, he's a local guy.
This wasn't me. So if it happens, I can't take credit. It was my friend John at Duncan every morning. He said, how about Bordelli? And I said, wow, good one. And then he goes, well, it'd be tough. He's from around here. Grew up a Red Sox fan. I said, listen, his best friend in life was my catcher in the amateur league one year, Rocco Baldelli, and I don't know him personally. Grew up a diehard Yankee fan, so I'm just saying, Rocco.
He needs it.
He was always compared. He was always compared to Joe DiMaggio when he came up, which is a tough thing to do to a kid when he comes up. To be compared to him because he was tall, skinny, Italian, and number 5.
Yeah.
So I got a couple of names in. How about Joe Girardi? Maybe even though he was there before, bring him back. He's a broadcaster there now, so obviously he's good with the ownership again. Girardi would be a name, and I mentioned Mark DeRosa, the great analyst for the MLB Network, who I think could go maybe to the Giants, but. This is strange. I just don't know how Boone's still, as we do this show, keeping score here, October 12th, he's still got a gig. I just don't. I don't get it.
No, I don't get it
8
either.
years and many shortcomings there. And I just think that at some point, Jess, even if it's not his fault, you need somebody else in there.
Well, he's not motivating them properly. They're just, if you're yawning in the field and you're making these stupid plays. I know we're running out of time, but there was this one I was watching. It was game 4 and it was Volpe was up and they cut to the stands. It was obviously the home game. And there's this old man who reminded me of my dad standing up and he was doing, if we're on YouTube, he was doing this swing and he screamed at the effing bat, screaming it, swing and Volpe took 2 right down the middle, to the point where I'm like,
hold on, I'm not defending Volpe, but so I saw another one where the guy in the stands was doing the thing with the bat, but wasn't he doing it when Volpe got called for a couple of pitches that looked like they were way off the plate? And I think he was trying to say, how can he hit that with this?
No, he said, sure? I saw his mouth say, swing the
because there was another one, some guy behind the Yankee dugout was Volpe got squeezed on a couple. I'm not
he did
making
get squeezed on a couple.
There were a couple. It wasn't even close to that little, the box. And he was trying to say, how is he going to get to it like this? No, that wasn't that one.
No, he said. And then there was 2 right down the middle. And then the third one, Volpe swung on and the ball was in the dirt. So he did swing. He did listen to him.
Yeah, by the way, I know we're moving on. Another reason why I like Toronto
is their ability. I said this.
Hate their logo.
You and the logo. I said this about Toronto weeks ago against Crochet. Even though he beat them and he's elite, he only had like 6 strikeouts. They put the ball in play, Jess, and you saw it after Schlittler beat the Red Sox with 12 strikeouts. He was still great the other night.
Yeah.
He had 2 strikeouts. They put the ball in play. They make you work.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? They put the ball in play, make you make plays, and the Yankees defense maybe needs to get shirred up a little bit. Judge may have some offseason surgery on that elbow. You know,
he's gonna need it. He had nothing in the outfield. He can't throw that ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we want to talk Bruins quick, or we got to get to birthdays because we have 6 minutes left?
What?
Yeah. So we got to get moving, but I like how the Bruins are starting right now. It was they had their first home win, and it was an overtime. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I'm not the Bruins go-to, but go ahead.
I would have said this to you before if I had a chance, but now the season just started, so I didn't want to say it after the fact. I really believe, and I know you and I was so sour last year on this particular player. I think Swayman's going to have a bounce-back season. Korpisalo's turned out to be a nice backup, and you see the recipe, 2 wins to start the season. Korpisalo backing up. He gets it done in the home opener versus the Blackhawks.
Not in the beginning, he didn't.
No, the first. You're right. He gave up 3 right off the rip.
Well.
But he settled down after that. Connor Bedard had a couple of chances to win the game on breakaways, and Korpisalo, he stood on his head. And I like what Swayman did with 35 saves in game 1. That was a real win in Washington. So now 2-0 to start the season. And he's, the Marco Sturm era is here. I think they're playing more physical.
He reminds me of somebody from Rocky, was the Russian, like the way he
Von
talks.
Drago? Yeah, he's got that.
He's just like we win.
Yeah. Now I don't know who Frazier. I don't know who Frazier. If he dies, he dies. I don't know who Frazier Minton is, but he got the game winner in overtime. So you're going to start to see some new players. And I told you about Elias Lindholm last year. He was a big free agent acquisition. They gave him big money. He's got a goal in both games. Pasternak had 3 points in the first game. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. It's only 2 games. Not going to get too excited.
A better vibe, though.
But there might be a season here. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be covering them as we go forward.
And especially if they stay healthy, which they need to make sure they do that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to birthdays. It is Sunday, October 12th. Who do we have today?
All right, I'm going to buzz through this here.
Yes, you have to.
Joe Cronin, born in 1906, passed away in 1984. Hall of Fame shortstop for the Red Sox, 7-time All-Star for the Sox, and American League president from 59 to 73, okay? This is a broadcaster I have to mention, and not a great ball player, but he played on some great Yankees teams. Tony Kubek is 89.
Wow.
World Series champions with the Yankees, 58, 61, 62. Yankee shortstop.
When they won.
And a great sportscaster for NBC. I loved his voice when he used to do games with Garagiola and Vin Scully. I just loved the crew.
And Gabagool.
Yeah. I got one name. I think you'll know this guy. Charlie Ward.
No.
Is 54.
Who is he?
Charlie Ward was the didn't make it in the NFL, but he was the Heisman Trophy winner at Florida State.
Okay.
And he also ended up playing he was a number 1 pick as a point guard for the New York Knicks and played for the Knicks in the 90s.
Really?
Yeah, 93 Heisman Trophy winner from Florida State and a point guard quarterback. He played both sports. A really, really good athlete. Yeah. Swinging over to the entertainment side. This guy's similar to me, like when I mentioned Jude Law a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
I don't know anything he was really in, but movie actor Hugh Jackman.
Oh, yeah, of course. Wolverine.
Is
Oh,
never saw
62.
He's 57.
Oh, wow. That's my bad.
And he wasn't in an episode of Curb. That's all I know.
Hugh Jackman's like
Yeah, I
in
don't
the
know
greatest
much. I know.
American showman or whatever, the greatest showman on earth.
Was he in Swordfish?
I don't remember.
With Halle Berry? No.
I don't remember.
No, I'm reaching. I just don't know. All right.
Hugh Jackman's in a lot.
All right, I'm going on. This kid's a teeny bop, kind of actor, and I don't think he's done much since. But Kirk Cameron.
He's how old am I? So 54?
55. Growing pains, and he's married to the beautiful Chelsea Noble. They have 6 kids together.
Oh, yeah, very.
Yeah.
She's very Jesus-y.
She was on that. Yes, she was on that show briefly, and she was also in an episode of Cheers when she was
cute.
younger. And she's the girl that Costanza liked when she had the boyfriend that looked like George a little bit. And it was hilarious.
Oh, wait, hold on. I got to.
It was classic.
Wait, which one?
Chelsea Noble.
Yeah. I just needed to do that. Okay.
So he's like, Neil, I'm Neil. I've out-Neiled Neil. Move in with me. I'll burn my parents, he says. All right. And I got 2 minutes. I got one release.
Okay.
The Affair came out in 20people on Showtime. Dominic West, more attorney who's lost her fastball.
All right. You don't have to scream it into the microphone. People get old, okay? She doesn't look the same like she did on ER, okay?
She was cute. She's not
Get
cute
off
anymore.
her case.
I watch her on the new Law and Order, the reboot of Law and and Order.
Wait,
Regular
hold on.
Law and
I got that good for
I
go.
ran on Showtime. That was a really good show, 2014. I think I binged that one during COVID.
Yeah, that was a COVID one. We actually didn't see. That's on our list. We didn't see it, but we're doing the throwback.
Joshua Jackson's in it too.
Yeah, I like him. Yeah.
So those are
Casey.
my birthdays and releases for October 12th.
Very nicely done. All right, we got a minute and a half. No more attorney talking. So what do we got this week? Obviously, we got Patriots pregame is coming up next. They're taking on New Orleans. Next week, we have another live show, and then we're going to do a little tape version because you will be maybe playing in Arizona. I don't know what the hell you're doing. And then make sure
Well, you know,
follow
it's a bad sign when the coach calls you and wants to know if you can do the book while you're out there. So I'll be exchanging the lineup cards before the game. It's kind of lifeless. I don't want to be coming back to the keeping score and saying I didn't sniff the mound. But
do you get a ring if you
it's
win,
not
though?
looking good. Yeah, I get
Oh,
hardware.
okay, that's cool.
I get
Then
hardware.
take the ring back. I don't care. Whatever. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Keeping Score with Jess and Dean. We're back on YouTube. We're gonna post some clips. I've already written when you flick off the screen. That's one of them.
I noticed you get little scribbles. You got some things circled there. It's nice.
And we want to thank our sponsors. And
Yes.
once again, Keeping Score with Jess and Dean. Follow us on our socials. Is there anything you'd like to say before we head out?
No, I had a nice time today.
Yeah, me too.
This is nice.
Go Pats.
Yes.
Bye.